Wow, what an exciting Thanksgiving weekend. First, on Saturday, October 7th, I got to see Toronto Maple Leafs play Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena. I think that's what it's called. In Detroit. Well, let's say it was the Detroit Red Wings, their actual NHL roster, versus the AHL Toronto Maple Leafs. But it was really, really cool. Little Caesars Arena is gorgeous. The seats are really comfortable, though you do feel a little bit squished. But the atmosphere is excellent. It's excellent, even when we were all up in the gods, and it was quite steep, to be honest with you. But the atmosphere, everything was cool. Pizza, can't go wrong, and beverages, some nice beers. It was good. The game, it got better in the second half. The first period looked terrible. The puck was bouncing everywhere. No one could control the puck. Heck, no one could even stick handle up the ice. It was really rough. There was Detroit Red Wings fans next to me, and they were just like, "Oh my God, do we have to do this all year? This is terrible." And I was like, yeah, you do. This is the AHL Toronto Maple Leafs. They look bad. You guys look terrible as well. Toronto did have a 2-0 lead, and it was really good. Ellis scored and Miller scored, and I was like, this is pretty good. Not too bad. No one really looked great. That includes guys like Clifford and Cowan and Benoit and Lafferty, Gregor, Holmberg. Yarncroke looked awful, if I'm going to be honest with you. Nick Robertson looked okay, but he was just like a water bug out there, and he lost the puck a couple times. Wall wasn't much of a wall, but he didn't play terribly. His team just didn't help him out. Detroit did come back in the second half of the second period, and they got their 3 straight goals and a lot at the very end. Who was it first? Larkin scored off of like a bumpy play. I didn't even know it was Larkin that put it in. I thought it went off a Leaf. And then what happened? Ben Sherratt scored from the point. It felt like 2 seconds after that, Veleno scored. And then Daniel Sprong scored in the third period with an absolute snipe on the power play. It was great. Veleno's goal at the tail end of the second period, it was one of those ones where there's a shot on net. It was blocked, and it fell right for Veleno, scored, and Wall couldn't get set up. Toronto did almost tie it up at the end of the game with Lafferty having a great power move out front. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Too bad we're probably going to lose you to waivers for free because you're $1.15 million per year, and it's a bit too much. And then next thing you know, Lafferty does get moved. He gets traded. He was definitely going to the waiver wire, and he gets traded for a fifth to Vancouver, and I actually liked the move for the Leafs because you would have lost him for nothing, and that means that Fraser Minton is in the starting lineup, 19 years old. That's pretty cool. I expect him to maybe get his 9-game tryout and then probably go back to junior hockey and dominate there, just like Easton Cowan's going to go there as well. Everyone else after the game, and then when Toronto put their waiver guys on, everyone got through, which is really cool. It looks like Nick Robertson's starting the year in the AHL. Good. Be healthy. Get lots of playing time. Martin Jones clears waivers, which was a bit of a surprise. But then at the same time, you saw that he got like $100,000 bonus. So you're like, okay, it's actually makes sense. It was very, very sly maneuvering and contract signing by Trey Living. But overall, yeah, it was a good fun time in Detroit. Too bad the Leafs AHL team lost. It doesn't look good for the start of the year for the Wings. They did bring it together at the end, and I like that Sprong pickup because that was an absolute snipe. Waiver wire, everyone went through, which is a shock because it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. And you're looking at like you got Bertuzzi, Matthews, Marner, Domi, Tavares, Nylander, and then Minton's going to center that third line with Yarncroke on the right and Nyes on the left. It's pretty cool. Good for him. Anyway, what did anyone watch the game? If you did, let me know what your thoughts were. What did you think of the Lafferty trade, and what do you think of Toronto's starting lineup, or what do you think the projected starting lineup is going to be? This is some exciting times because Leafs play tomorrow. Oh, and in other news, the Winnipeg Jets, because everyone was talking about Hellebuck maybe going to the Leafs or wherever else. Of course, everyone talks about him going to the Leafs because the Leafs are always on everyone's mind. Him and Mark Scheifele sign identical deals. 7 years at $8.5 million each. They're there for life, it looks like, and that's a big win for Winnipeg, in my opinion, because you already got some young guys coming up, and you keep those 2 core players. And obviously, Hellebuck is an absolute beast in net. And, the salary was less than expected, especially for Hellebuck, but he got that 7 years, so It makes sense. I like the signing for the Jets. I obviously like the signing for the players. Good for them. I don't know how the Jets are going to be this year, but I do like those moves for them. Yeah, it's really long and a couple extra years, but you needed to make a big splash with them and have some solidarity amongst the team. And they do it with picking up those two. Here we go, though. One more day, and the Leafs are on. The NHL regular season begins. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Go, Leafs, go. Talk to you later. Wow, what an exciting Thanksgiving weekend. First, on Saturday, October 7th, I got to see Toronto Maple Leafs play Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena. I think that's what it's called. In Detroit, well, let's say it was the Detroit Red Wings, their actual NHL roster, versus the AHL Toronto Maple Leafs. But it was really, really cool. Little Caesars Arena is gorgeous. The seats are really comfortable, though you do feel a little bit squished. But the atmosphere is excellent. It's excellent, even when we were all up in the gods, and it was quite steep, to be honest with you. But the atmosphere, everything was cool. Pizza, can't go wrong, and beverages, some nice beers. It was good. The game, it got better in the second half. The first period looked terrible. The puck was bouncing everywhere. No one could control the puck. Heck, no one could even stick handle up the ice. It was really rough. There was Detroit Red Wings fans next to me, and they were just like, "Oh my God, do we have to do this all year?"